Dead Art Studios paint and chat. And today we've got a painting that I've not shown before on the paint and chat. It's 30 by 40 centimeters in portrait and it's on plywood. And the idea behind it is the idea of sort of claustrophobic, crowded room. So on it we've got these, it's done with finger painting, and that's what we're going to do this evening. We've got these long streaks with maybe like a head-like impression at the top, all tightly packed vertically. I want to sort of give that, you know, like if you're on a subway train or something and you're all stood up and kind of packed together, or a concert. Something kind of feeling like that, you know, where you're all just pushed together. And I've done a bit of work on it with acrylic. I'm using golden acrylics on this one. That's just what I've got. And I'm going to use Liquitex gloss medium as well today to give it a sort of translucent shine as I put it on. I'm just going to get going. Today for my palette I've got a piece of paper because I normally use my yogurt pot lids, but they've all fallen down the side of a shelf onto the floor. I can't get at them very easily, so you know it's late in the day. I've just decided to get on with it and get painting instead of going on a logistical nightmare of trying to get that out. So what I'm doing is I'm mixing gloss medium with, on this case, cadmium red. I'm going to mix it all together. Now I'm using quite a lot of gloss medium there. What does it says to use up to 25%, so I'm using loads more than that, and that'll give it a more translucent look to it when it's down, which is kind of what I want to go for, I think. But if you use like about 25%, then I think what it's saying is it's going to maintain the opacity of the paint that you're using there or thereabouts. So that's what they're suggesting, and it's good for you know, making a very high gloss, super hard, resistant finish on something. You can use it for collage as well, just gluing stuff down, which I've done before. So I'm going to click some up, and I am going to use my fingers, no gloves or anything, just straight on. I'm going to take a nice big splodge on my finger, and I'm going to kind of look at where there's the bits of red before and just kind of go with that. So it's kind of one here, so let's just plonk it here and pull down. I felt something, as I pulled down, I felt something like on some texture on there that felt a bit rough, so I'm not sure if I like that. Right, weird feel. Right, and I kind of want it to show a bit through, so I'm squidging it down quite heavily there. There we go. I think it's a bit of dried medium or something that's probably come off the side of the tub. So we go on there, and there's kind of one here tucked at the back, and that kind of is coming through. Let's put his head in a bit more, if we can call it that. And I'm just pull it through. I just pull that off and down. I've been having quite a lot of stress with paintings recently, and it's been making me think about how artists sort of are drawn into their art, but then sometimes it really frustrates them, and like, you know, it gets almost more trouble than it's worth. And I've been feeling a bit like that with some of my art. And then I've been watching a YouTube channel of a small creator and watching how they were kind of the same way, kind of stressed out with their art. And I was thinking, is it like this for everybody? Shouldn't it be peaceful? So I've been focusing on trying to just relax about it and not worry too much. I do actually quite like getting involved and stressed. I think it's a sign that, you know, why do you take it so seriously? Like, you're like, oh no, everything. it's interesting. I think it just because it means something to me, you know. I think that's part of it. So we've just done some red in there. I do quite like it. It's quite relaxing, this finger painting business. I do recommend having a go if you fancy it. You don't have to go no gloves like me. I'm pretty sure this stuff, modern paints, I think are reasonably safe. I don't think you'd want to eat them, but a bit on the fingers is not going to cause too much harm. Maybe you can correct me otherwise. Maybe there's some pigments with the heavy metals that are still around. But I imagine, for the most part, you're fine. Don't trust me. Yeah, so I was like thinking, like, why am I getting so stressed about it? So I've been trying to relax and just enjoy it and allow myself to change things and stuff like that. I threw my family figures painting out the other day, just threw it in a bin after working on it for like 3 months. And yeah, it's a bit strange how it can have that effect. I mean, like, does that apply for all crafts? Let me know. Do you get angry felting, making some felt slippers or a little hedgehog? Do you get? I mean, I do knitting, and I've got stressed out with knitting. I knitted this hat, and you know, it's following a pattern and keeping it all in the right place is difficult. Knitting's a bit like Russian roulette. You know, you've got thousands of stitches, and you only have to make one mistake, and then you're in big trouble. Obviously, the better knitter you are, you can knit back and sort it all out. But when you're a beginner, it's hard enough to knit forwards. Never mind knit backwards. So that was another sort of cause of stress in a supposed soothing hobby. And yeah, it's interesting. I do meet people in the world they don't seem to get like I get about things. It's interesting. Gardening. I don't really get angry with gardening or stress. I'm not sure angry is the right word. Like super intensely involved. Just like emotionally connected to it. I don't really get like that with gardening, I have to admit. But I'm not sure it's... You're not really creating at the same pace. You're creating something, aren't you? A garden over a longer period of time. Even if you do a quick turnaround, it's still going to take you a weekend at least to totally transform a garden, isn't it? So I think that's why it might be a bit different. Right, so I've put a few streaks down there. I'm just going to try and make sure that the heads of the figures are head-like. They're not really head-like, but, you know, rounder than the streaks that go down that kind of represent the bodies. And then make sure there's nothing too, you know, sticking up or anything that might look a bit ugly. Right, so that's one colour done. I'm going to do about half an hour again today, paint and chat. Long form, just random discussion, totally unscripted, unpracticed, unrehearsed painting and conversation. It's easy to ramble on for a long time. I'm trying to keep it about half an hour. I like watching, I don't know if anybody watches the motorbike channel, Itchy Boots, but I like watching that, and it's worth watching whether you like motorbiking or not. It's a great travel vlog. And yeah, half an hour on that. It's like an epic story, and then I'm just sit here talking randomly for half an hour, and it seems to go in the blink of an eye. So you might be sat watching it saying, not on this side, my friend. It's dragging. I think I need to clean the acrylic out of my caps. It's not really something to be doing now, is it? Yeah. Been super busy. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, January's gone, February's here. Do I feel rested and refreshed for a new year? No. Everything's crazy as usual. Okay, so lots of medium again. I've gone for some primary yellow this time. Let's show you. There you go. Look. Yeah, everything's pretty crazy, high paced, and then you live a normal life, and then your artist alter ego comes out at night. It's 9:15. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. I did get a nap just before lunchtime. Seems to have had little to no effect on my exhaustion levels. Not being as productive as I'd like to be in terms of getting chores and stuff done around the house. Okay, a little bit of red mixed into the yellow there, but that's fine. Looks interesting. Right, where else can we go? Let's just not think about it too much at this point and just start pulling through. Yes. And the abstract painting I showed last week, that's kind of turned into a conventional painting, a landscape, and now it's heading back out again, and I've just sewed over some of it again. It's been very up and down, and I do find that when I'm in a conventional painting kind of thing, where I'm painting something, I find it very, very difficult to focus on that. I want to put emotion into it and feeling as I'm doing it, and sitting down and just slowly pecking out little bits of detail on things is hard. I would like to do it, but I think I need to plan it more and do it all the way from a drawing, block it all out. I think if I'm locked into a process that I can't in my own mind deviate from, I stand a higher chance of success. I think because I just drifted into it, I allow myself to drift back out of it again. Let's just come down here. Okay, I feel like we have got a crowd in the middle here. Get this last bit, scoop it up. Okay. Is it a happy crowd or is it an angry crowd? Or a scared? I mean, how do you get in crowds? Just uncomfortable. Just quite passive in a way, almost switch off. So we seem to have got blues and reds and yellows. We definitely want to avoid the browns. Maybe we could put a bit of black in there. Might be a bit weird, but I have got a bit of black already on there. I think just a little bit in the background could be quite interesting. I'll put less onto the board. Piece of paper really, isn't it? Giving it a grandiose description. Clean off the palette knife. Bit more gloss gel. Do like using this gloss gel. It's good for this more impasto stuff. And you can get just gloss medium, obviously. That's more liquidy. So this is good for texture, you see. Right, so the black, I need to be careful here. Just start a little bit down here. Maybe some smaller, quicker streaks. It's a bit up here. Let's put that in there. It's a bit here. Let's put that in there. Balance it out, put a bit up there, look. And streak it in. Oof, caught a little bit of the ones below. It's alright though, isn't it? And that's caught on, but mixed in with my other paint now. Bit up there. you know, this is the kind of art where people say anyone could do that, and I'd agree with you, and I'd say that you should do it and have a go, and you may well enjoy it. I'm just going to splodge that red bit again, get that something a bit gunky had got on there. And I've probably got one last go. Maybe let's get this last bit here. Where are we going to put it? Maybe just some more smaller streaks down around here. Just the idea of shade at the bottom. Okay. Now it's almost tempting just to run my fingers through and mix them all in a bit. It's also a bit scary, but it is a bit sort of not totally linked together, so I might do it and see what happens. Don't want to overdo it, I know that. Get my red in there. Oof. Splodge my yellow down. Mix that in a bit there. Okay. Let's do some blues to finish. Sort of around the top and background here. And I think the blue I'm going to use is, I might use both. I might do a bit of ultramarine and then a bit of primary cyan as well. Both have nearly run out now. Got to buy some more. Wouldn't it be nice if when you had to buy more paint, you were a successful artist making a good living, and you just thought, I need more paint, but it's an investment. You're immediately going to sell what you create. For some people, that is what's happening. And for others, it's a hobby. And for others, it's in between. I'm somewhere in the hobby to in between area. All right, let's just get this. I want to be more sort of just spread out like a background. I am going to use the general idea of a finger type shape, but I'm just going to spread it around more. I probably should have done this first and then gone over with the other bits. Some of these whites down here, I think if I can just run over those with the blues. There we go. Try not to whistle while I'm making a YouTube video. I don't think it comes over so well, does it? Alright, let's get these bits of yellow kind of smoothed out. There's some red up there now and black. Spread it in down here. There we go. I'll be having a game of chess and a cup of cocoa after this. Settle down for the night. I've been enjoying playing chess and I'm not very good at all. I play online on chess.com. I think my handle is Dead Art Studios, so if you happen to play chess, you can maybe track me down. Yeah, I'm not very good at all, but I am getting better. And at one point I thought I never would, and then I stuck with it a bit more, and then it's starting to pay off a bit. As with most things, like your mother or father would tell you, and you wouldn't necessarily believe them as a child, but it does seem to be the case. And I find myself now as a father saying all the same things that I shrugged off as a younger person. Yeah, that's quite cool. Let's just mix it in a bit like that. We'll add more layers to this and layer it up quite a lot. And hopefully this one will be, because there's not too much concept to it, other than what I stated, you know. Hopefully it makes it and stays out of the bin and becomes a painting I put on my online shop, which is folksy.com/shops/Dead Art Studios. Folks is like a British arts and crafts shop platform, just for, you can buy worldwide, but it's just for British artists to put their stuff on. I like it on there. It doesn't get a lot of traffic or anything, but maybe one day it will. And it feels good, you know. And if you can drive your own traffic and find your own people who are interested in your art, then ultimately it doesn't really matter where you're hosting, as long as it does the job well and efficiently and, you know, looks decent. Ultramarine blue, bit of gloss gel. Yeah, so I put all my paintings on there. I have been like learning the ins and outs of what I need to do to sell worldwide, and as it stands I can't really sell in Europe because you need to have a product safety representative within Europe to send anything into Europe now, as of December last year. So that's a bit of a hit. As a British person, we're no longer in the EU, and so that makes it a bit more complicated. And then to post worldwide I need an export number, EORI number or something, for which you need to be registered as a business. So it's a matter of deciding when to call myself a business and register myself, because I haven't sold enough art to have to, you know, tell the Inland Revenue about it, because you get £1,000 side hustle tax-free in the UK. So when you reach that point, gross I think, not net, then you have to be registered. But I definitely have not reached that point yet, so we are all right. But then in some ways you're limiting yourself, and I think even though I do have things up for sale worldwide, I think I'm going to have to change it for now, just back to UK only. But if there was a sudden surge of interest on the channel or something like that, I could pretty quickly change that, so nothing too much to worry about. It's just it's interesting how much thought needs to go into things. It would be nice, I know the world doesn't work that way, but it would be nice, wouldn't it, if like you're a simple artist by yourself making a piece of art, and just somebody wants to buy it at a relatively modest price, and you want to send it to them and they're somewhere in the world. It would be nice if that was a painless process where you just put it in the post and it went there and then they got it. That's not how it goes. Okay, so let's look at the art. So we've got the red streaks coming down. It does look like a hand clawing down, which I kind of like, because that's kind of what it is, even though I've just used the individual fingers. I don't know how people like it as yet. The colours are quite like. And I think it's better than when we started, which is good too. So I'm going to let that dry. If I do anything else on it now, it's just going to smear into the pre-existing marks that we've made. So sometimes it's nice to let things dry and just come back for various different reasons. And I think the reason today is to not mess with the integrity of the paint that we've just put down. It's not so much needing to think about it kind of thing, because this is intuitive painting. Its purest form, really, isn't it? Just strike the finger, put a little bit of emotion down, a little bit of how you're feeling down each time you do it, and that's the story, really, on this one. So yeah, I'm going to leave it to dry, and I'm going to say bye. Stead Out Studios. I'll see you soon for the next paint and chat. See you later.